Chapter 1. Tomb Guardian Clan Leader. Shen Wang's Dantian is shattered, his foundation destroyed, countless resources have been spent on treatment, yet there is no recovery. We cannot continue pouring into this bottomless pit. Clan Leader, Shen Wang has no path left. For cultivation, why bother with further efforts? Please arrange for Shen Wang to guard the tomb, keep him away from the family's core, and redirect the resources to others. In the council hall of the Shen family, a small cultivation clan, many family elders strongly opposed and demanded Shen Wang to repay by guarding the tomb. Father, the cemetery is ominous, don't let brother guard it. Hiding beside the Chan leader, a little girl carved from jade timidly spoke, but she was interrupted. Silence, adults are discussing matters. Children should not interrupt. The clan leader glared at his daughter, then turned to look at his younger son with a complicated expression, sighed and said, "Go guard the tomb, live the rest of your life peacefully, don't harbor any more thoughts." "Yes, I understand." Shen Wang sighed. He had no objections to this matter, only a reluctance to part with his young sister. He turned and patted her head. "Nanan, take care of yourself." Brother 6. Nanan's face was streaked with tears. She reached to grab her brother's hand, but caught nothing but air. "Wanger, you have no hope in this life, but your partner is pregnant. Hopefully, you will have an exceptional descendant. Remember to take good care of her when you reach the ancestral land." The clan leader eventually added another sentence. Shen Wang nodded, laughed silently, returned to his room to pack, and prepared to head to the Shen family's ancestral land, a remote and barren place. There was much discussion within the family about his departure. Alas, it's a pity. This child originally had the opportunity to establish a foundation and succeed as the clan leader. HMPH, who told him to provoke a fierce demon, leading to the destruction of his foundation. The clan leader even wasted numerous elixirs on him. Going to the ancestral land to guard the tomb, he may never return in this lifetime. It's a shame for Han Wan who will likely follow him and suffer. Sighs, regrets, schadenfreude various. Comments were unceasing. Shen Wang paid no heed to these ill words, leaving with his old servant and maid without a word. They arrived at the ancestral land in Fengming town, 300 miles away, to start guarding the tomb. 8 months later, in early winter, at the Shen family's ancestral residence on the outskirts of Fengming town, it was a dilapidated great hall, cold and silent, surrounded by withered vegetation, covered with a thin layer of snow, resembling an old painting. Behind the palace were numerous deep mountains. It was night time, gusts of wind howled, and faint sounds of evil spirits roaring could be heard. Caw caw, an old, bald crow perched on a tree flew up. Its call was eerie. Snowflakes drifted beneath the tree. Shen Wang, dressed in a blue robe, paced incessantly outside the newly built house, frowning as he glanced at the crow. A child is about to be born, yet a crow appears outside. This is an ominous sign. "Young master, madam is also a cultivator. There will surely be no problem." The old servant, missing 3 teeth, called out softly, comforting the anxious Shen Wang. Shen Wang nodded, calming down a bit. He had lived 2 lives, experienced much, and understood the warmth and coldness of the world, not easily panicked. Gazing at the pitch-black night sky, Shen Wang's eyes showed complicated emotions. Time passes so quickly, in the blink of an eye. It has been over 30 years since coming to this world, and now a child would soon be born. In this life, he was fortunate to be reborn into a cultivation clan, gaining access to the cultivation realm immediately. He himself possessed a middle-grade spirit root, had decent talent, and was favored by the heavens. Coupled with diligent cultivation, he achieved G cultivations in his 30s. Perhaps because life had always been smooth, calamity struck unexpectedly. A year ago, during an outing to hunt a demon beast, an accident occurred, severely injuring him and damaging his foundation, making him hopeless for establishing a foundation and almost unreachable to immortality. In the following months, he struggled to repair his Dantian but ultimately failed. The family elders were dissatisfied with the precious resources spent on him, fearing that continuing would affect their own resource allocation. They took advantage and attacked. Eventually, he ended up powerless and defenseless, appointed as a tomb guardian. Not unexpectedly, fortunately, his partner followed him, bearing him a child, becoming a ray of light in his gloomy times. The old servant, as if sensing something, smiled and said, actually, guarding the tomb isn't bad, you can avoid fighting in the family's power struggles. He hoped that Shen Wang could unclog his heart, not to frown. You can see straight to the end and die of old age here, oh, unless you encounter an ominous event, you might not even have that chance. Shen Wang looked fearfully at the mountains behind the tomb. There were burial grounds in these mountains, cultivators' tombs. Rationally, cultivators, after death, were mostly cremated, rarely erecting tombs. The Shen family not only had tombs but also stipulated that all generations must be buried in the earth after death. Strangely, no corpse transformations occurred, yet, even so, these burial grounds differed from ordinary ones nearby. This burial ground remained very ominous. Generations of Shen family cultivators were buried here after falling, seemingly to suppress the ominousness here, yet, despite that, the eeriness continuously persisted. The strange and ominous brought several times of bloody turmoil, causing the family to lose their strong ones and constantly decline. Over time, fear grew among everyone here. Nobody wanted to come here, let alone guard it, eventually moving out. Apart from those forced to be sent here, only during the annual ancestor worship would anyone come. Fortunately, in the recent millennium, there had been no significant changes. In response to this, the old servant said, nothing, choosing Ailance. You should rest. The child likely won't be born tonight. Seeing no movement inside, Shen Wang waved the old servant away. This old servant had accompanied his mother when she got married. He was just an ordinary martial artist, now aged, with declining vitality, unable to withstand the cold wind. A chill would make him cough. The old servant saluted. Yes. He hesitated. From now on, I must serve Miss Ninth, leaving tomorrow. I ask the young master to take care in the future. Shen Wang nodded, thinking of the only person he couldn't let go of, revealing a smile of longing. Help me take care of my little sister. Though she lacks a spirit root, she does have martial talent. The path of cultivation is tough. Tell her not to overstrive. Brother will eventually repair his dantian and continue to protect her. The old servant nodded, sighed once. Cultivation is inherently defying heaven. With a damaged dantian, the difficulty more than doubles. Even if he can return to the cultivation path, it would be an arduous journey. Gall, waving his hand, Shen Wang stepped through the cracked gate to rest. Tonight, the midwife and maid Xiaoga were accompanying his wife, waiting for the child to be born. He should not enter. Sitting cross-legged in the ancestral hall, Shen Wang tried to cultivate. Unfortunately, the spiritual qi entering his body dissipated after gathering in the dantian, failing to accumulate. It's still not working. Do I truly need that heaven-defying elixir to repair it? Shen Wang felt helpless. Even after thousands of attempts, he still hoped for the day he could regather his spiritual qi. At this moment, his dantian is like a broken bowl, able to hold only a bit of spiritual power. Neither cultivation nor martial arts training is possible, reducing his cultivation straight to the first layer qi cultivation. Fortunately, his original cultivation was quite good. This little cultivation barely keeps his flesh from significant deterioration, living to 100 without much problem. But once having soared the skies with sword control, how could one be content to age quietly? Unable to gather spiritual qi, Shen Wang had to change the route of his tekkai, dispersing spiritual qi throughout his body, instead hydrating the flesh, avoiding bodily decline. After cultivating for a while, he came out to check on the room's situation. Several times seeing no movement, Shen Wang could only continue waiting. A night passed, still no movement. Shen Wang frowned. This midwife is unreliable. She said the birth should have been last night. How can a whole night pass without the child being born? Could there be any accident? He got up and went over, comforting himself. There shouldn't be anything wrong. Wan also has cultivation at the fourth layer of qi, unlikely to experience difficulty in childbirth. Arriving at the door, he knocked softly. Kaojia, situation. Come out and give a report on the. There was still no response inside. Shen Wang's face changed slightly. He pushed the door open. This is a book about marrying and having children. The protagonist is a stallion, just Don't say you haven't seen a woman, as long as she looks pleasing, he takes her home to bear children. The style warms up. Slowly,